do some analysis yourselves, contribute, and to give an impact for ourselves. Bimbo Akombi is my name. The program is Conversation, and this is how we do it every day, every morning on this station, and except Sundays, like I said, Sundays. Now we'll go straight to the matters arising. What are the matters arising?
Well, the telecom sector, and it looks like you'll have to pay more, Bimbo, to use your mobile phone. Just
yes.
like Nigerians are having to pay more for virtually everything.
Yes, I heard that yesterday evening. But I was just, trying to see if, it is possible or not. Because I saw it on one obscure offline network like that.
And for we workers, public and private sector, whatever increase in minimum wage seems to have been dwarfed by us having to pay more for virtually all goods and services, for virtually everything. And now it's telecoms now. And it says here, coming from the federal government, while telecom tariff will go up but won't be by 100%. Before it was the telecom service operators that were insisting that the cost of them running their operations and has increased, whatever they meant by that, and that they need to have a 100% increase in tariff to make up to stay in a business. It looked as if the federal government was not going to say anything. They said they were going to confirm convince the regulatory authorities. But now the federal government is confirming that there will be an increase, but they are saying that it won't be by 100%. So I wonder by what percentage that is going to be. And the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, says telecom tariffs will soon increase, but not by 100%. Rising from a stakeholders meeting with mobile network operators, MNOs, on Wednesday in Abuja, Tijani said that consultations and engagements were ongoing on the matter. According to, the MNOs are proposing a 100% increase in tariffs. According to the minister, very soon the Nigerian Communications Commission will approve and make the new tariffs public to Nigerians. And I'm quoting him now. You have seen over the past weeks that there has been some agitation from some of these companies to increase tariffs. They are requesting for 100% tariff increase, but it will not be by 100%. The NCC will soon come up with a clear directive on how we will go about it. It won't be by 100% initially, but it will eventually be by 100%. You know the way things run in this country. First of all, test the waters, and then gradually you implement the increase. Just as it happened in the petroleum sector before, the very sudden jacking up of fuel price as a result of the abrupt removal of subsidy. Even then, the increase was in retail price of petrol was jacked up gradually, and here we are today. And Bimbo, talking about other sectors too, where we access other goods and services for our daily lives, you would see that even with the gradual decrease, I say gradual because it is indeed very gradual, in the pump price of petrol, which the increase of which was believed to have caused the astronomical skyrocketing of goods and services across the various sectors in the first place. Now, with this gradual decrease we are now having in the pump price of petrol, nothing has changed.
Yes,
transportation, for instance.
Yes,
it even seems to be increasing.
Yes.
The cost of transportation, even though we're having a little bit of reduction in the pump price of petrol, and it is not reflecting on the cost of transportation. It is not reflecting on the cost of food, and I wonder why this is. Now we have to deal with increase in telecom tariff now.
Telecoms tariff. Well, I don't know. Maybe they don't want us to enjoy, using phones and all those, gadgets again. And if we want to, if Nigerians wants to deal with only just that we cannot do without using telephones. We can just abandon the phones, and not use again.
You know, I was just about asking you that how long can you do without your mobile phone, Bimbo?
That's what I'm saying.
Especially in this profession.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That we cannot do without using our phones. We cannot do without our phones. You know, even if you don't have credit now, you don't have credit for like 30 minutes or 1 hour, and your head will be turning now. That I will get money to get credit, or your phone, your battery, you know, had problems or something happens to your phone. But I think they are using that opportunity, one of the opportunities, you know, to just try and, I will quote, enter us.
And I think they're using the realities of contemporary times.
Yes, the realities of the times.
The world has become a global village, and we cannot do without telecom. So I'll take, for instance, the banking, for instance, especially with the harrowing experience that you go through when you visit the banking hall. So your mobile phone comes to your rescue much of the time when you want to do transactions, banking transactions. So just one of the very many instances where you cannot do without your mobile phone, at least in this contemporary world. Well,
especially in this our profession. Our profession, you can't do without having, you know, a phone.
Oh, it's a reality that another grim reality that Nigerians would have to deal with in the days ahead. Okay, so this one, National Assembly criticizes federal government over poor performance of 2024 capital budget. Oh, am I seeing right, Bimbo? National Assembly criticizing the federal government and over poor performance of 2024 capital budget. Oh, so they can actually do that. Oh, I'm not that well. Many Nigerians thought they were actually rubber stamp. And well, they are saying that 25% record for capital this small. Oh, they can say that. Recurrent drawn 100%, and only 10% of Nigerians benefit from recurrent spending, pushes for 60% capital versus 40% recurrent ratio. They were never this critical in the past. It's always well done.
Are you sure? Are you sure it is the normal critical, or that because something has not come to their hands, that they are now
Nigerians to see them as
yes.
something. Well, whichever way, at least the last I think the last two national assemblies or thereabouts, I've never been this especially about the government spendings, they've not really been this critical, except when they want to do their endless probes that often lead nowhere. When they want to probe a particular agency of government, when they want to probe particular allegations of fraud, either against individuals or particular government agencies. But like I said, these are probes that never lead anywhere. And we only hear the beginning, we never see the end. But now, well, the National Assembly is unimpressed by what it considered a disappointing performance of the 2024 budget, which has recorded an overall execution of 43% and a capital project score of 25%. That indeed is poor, Bimbo. The 2024 budget was initially passed at 28.7 trillion naira, but later rose to around 35 trillion naira. On Wednesday, Senate and House of Representatives joint committees on appropriations working on the 2025 budget gave a verdict on the 2024 budget, slamming the executive for poor releases of funds to execute capital projects. Now I'm beginning to think that there is some substance to what you said.
Yes.
They are talking about poor releases of funds, and I wonder how much, if the executive could also say that it was just being prudent about releasing
about
funds.
releasing funds, yes.
But they are saying that they should have been more generous with the release of funds to execute capital projects. They are not saying to their own pockets.
No, they will not say that. They will not say that.
Okay, capital projects that would attend to the needs of the majority of Nigerians as against the 100% performance of the recurrent votes serving the interest of 10% of the country's over 200 million naira, serving 10% of the country's over 200 million population. Now, Bimbo, I don't know. Are they not part of that 10%? They are saying that the recurrent votes is serving the interest of 10% of the country's over 200 million population. Now, with the jumbo they get at the expense of each and every one of us, I think they should also count themselves to be part of that 10%. The joint panel, which is headed by the Chairman, Senate Committee on Appropriations, Senator Adiola Olamileko, and co-chaired by the Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Appropriation, Honorable Abubakar Bichi, expressed concern at a meeting with the federal government's economic management team, chaired by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edu, in Abuja. So, well, if they are worried that the government is not getting its priorities right, and that a chunk of the budget, from what I'm reading, if I'm to interpret it, a chunk of the budget is going to misplace priorities, I think they should consider themselves as part of that misplaced priority.
Yes, because the funds, at least, must have been allocated to, their purposes. Some percentages of those funds.
Their comfort is priority, and I think so. I'm not saying that entirely they should be blamed for that misplaced priority, like I said, but then they are also part of the misplaced priority. My opinion, Bimbo. My opinion. But we also have this one here. EFCC detains 10 operators over theft of operational items. Oh, what do they mean by operators? The EFCC's operational items. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, on Wednesday informed that in its continuing efforts to sweep itself clean. I like that, Bimbo. The EFCC sweeping itself clean of corrupt tendencies. 10 officers from its Lagos Zonal Command have been detained over investigation of some missing items involving them. This is coming 2 days after the anti-graft agency disclosed the dismissal of 27 officers from its workforce in 2024, pursuant to EFCC's request to enforce integrity and rid itself of fraudulent elements. Well, that's a good one. If the EFCC is taking the war against corruption to itself,
that means, is it that they stole some things in the EFCC premises, or
that's what they are saying, that operational items stolen by EFCC personnel.
Well, that is good. Now, I have this one here. It has to do with airports. States now, they are trying to construct airports, and people are confused. Experts, stakeholders are saying, okay, states are trying to build airports and people are hungry. People are hungry. Now, this one says governors compete to build airports, spend 181 billion naira. Airports built by states not viable. That is according to experts.
There are some, of course, there are quite a number of states where those airports are not viable.
Yes, and an ex-fan MD also noted. And note revenue generated can't maintain the airports, which puts more burdens on the Federal Airports Aviation, I think authority fund. Yes, and they said they asked the federal government to stop granting licenses to governors on airport development. I believe all this should be looked into. The airport in Ibadan, yes, it is not just built, it has been there for a long time, and our governor has contributed, to the uplift of that airport. I think that is much more better, than trying to construct an airport which will not be viable, which will not bring, a revenue to the state. Like this one, I see Dutse International Airport, Dutse.
Yes, Jigawa State.
Jigawa State. Between January and July 2022, recorded just 1,448 passengers in domestic throughput figures, which rose to 3,537 during the same period in 2023. The revenue from this abysmal passenger traffic is not enough to carry out routine maintenance of the airport. So what is the essence of building the airport?
Let's have this commercial break. We'll talk more about that when we are back.
To see their child grow up to be healthy, happy, and thriving. When you keep them safe, there's no limit to what they can achieve. Every year, thousands of women of reproductive age in Nigeria lose their lives to cervical cancer. The cancer is caused by a virus called HPV, human papilloma virus. The great news is that the disease is preventable by the HPV vaccine. Early vaccination is the most effective way of preventing cervical cancer in young women later in life. So don't wait another second. Get your daughter vaccinated and ensure she's protected, healthy, and thriving. The HPV vaccine is free and available to girls aged 9 to 14 at primary healthcare centers near you. It is safe, effective, and approved by the Ministry of Health, WHO, and UNICEF. Spread the word and protect the future. Vaccinate your girls today.
This message is brought to you by the State Primary Healthcare Development Agency in partnership with Girl Effect and other partners.
Conversation.
All right, we're back, and the program is still Conversation, and it's good to know you are still there. Well, I mean, we're talking about the matter of states establishing airports that are not viable. Well, in the case of the Ibadan airport, I think the only reason why over the years maybe the Ibadan airport has not been recording the kind of traffic it should record is because it was not upgraded to international status. That's what it ought to have been right from the start for a city like Ibadan. Now, Governor Seyi Makinde has finally been able to do this, and you can bet me that airport will become very hyperactive.
Yes.
Having been granted and upgraded to international status, especially when you know that you no longer have to travel all the way to Lagos before you board an international flight, and that I guess will start happening very soon. In the case of those other states where the governors keep racing, like that report said, to build airports that are not viable, why do I have this feeling that it is more of politics, and it is more because of the personal comfort of the governors themselves, who, well, from a state like Jigawa now, or maybe a state like Zamfara, for instance, you have to travel to Abuja, and then of course, you know that you have to travel by road to where the next airport is. I know the roads in those parts of the country are not safe. Even in southeast Nigeria, the roads are not safe.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about just safety when it comes to the condition of the roads. I'm talking about safety insecurity. That which is constituted by human beings, terrorists and bandits and marauders. So one could begin to reason that maybe this is why these governors
want to build, construct airports, and
so that
but people are hungry. People are hungry. What will people be thinking? You are saving money to build airports, and we are hungry. So what will these airports achieve? Like now, there was one airport that was established. Established. Was it established? It was constructed. Cargo airport, I think somewhere in Ogun State recently. Well, fine.
That should be viable. It's cargo.
Cargo, yes.
You know, with gateway to many economies. Talk about Lagos, talk about Ibadan,
talk about the Benin Republic and all those areas. Yes. So you see, that one is viable Not that we just construct one airport in one Dutse area or one airstrip somewhere. So what is the essence when people are hungry, looking for money, looking for what to eat in the mornings?
Bimbo, show some respect. Dutse is the capital city of some people. And you said just what Dutse. show some respect to these people.
I'm just angry. That is it.
Okay. The police arrest teacher for assaulting toddler, and Lagos government to visit school today. Bimbo, you need to have seen that viral video.
Which one?
Of a teacher assaulting a 3-year-old pupil.
3-year-old.
He was trying to teach the people some arithmetic and trying to teach him to write some figures. The people he was not getting it, the 3-year-old people. And the next thing, she rained heavy blows on him. And there were slaps actually, but the slaps looked more like punches. Just that our palm was open, unlike in the case of a punch where
your palm will be closed,
clenched fist. Yes. So very disturbing video, if you ask me, and very heavy slaps, like I said, that looked more like punches. And one wondered that what must have been going through the mind of that teacher, and I also wondered well, the boy was holding on to the teacher's table. I guess that was why it didn't fall to the ground. And maybe the boy also knew that as little as he was, that maybe things would have been worse if he had fallen to the ground. Maybe the teacher would have stood up and be kicking him even on the ground there. But like I said, the video was very disturbing. You need to see it.
But what kind of training did that teacher have? Did she go through the normal teacher training, process? Or is it just all those who just leave secondary school and start going to, teach in private schools, some private schools like that?
Well, she looked like a married woman who would have children herself. But then, like you said, the question comes: what kind of training did she go through? Did she go through any training at all? And this speaks to the matter of private schools, especially employing teachers. To cut costs, they employ people with very poor training or people who have no training at all. So they bring, especially in this hard time, some of them bring their pent-up anger to the school and then they vent it on those kids. Well, no one knows how that video was recorded, but then myself and some of my colleagues, when we were watching that video yesterday, and we were wondering that who did the recording. Well, the general consensus was that perhaps some of our colleagues, maybe it's not the first time she had been treating the kids like that. Some of our colleagues who were not happy with that, maybe they had admonished that she refused to listen. So they decided that, okay, they would record this and keep it as evidence. There was a child rights activist that saw the video and was very, very angry. She was the one that reported to the police. And the story here, the police in Lagos State have arrested a private school teacher, Stella Nwadibu, who was captured in a viral video maltreating a 3-year-old pupil. The police in the state have also begun investigations into the incident. Meanwhile, the Lagos State government, through the Ministry of Education, has also begun investigations into the incident. Officials of the Lagos State government are expected to visit the school today, Thursday, as part of the investigations. The video of the incident went viral on social media early Wednesday, drawing widespread condemnations. The incident was said to have happened at My Thought School at Oluyole area of Ishawo in Ikorodu. In the viral video, the teacher was seen physically abusing the people, identified as 3-year-old Abayomi Michael. It was gathered that the teacher was initially arrested by operatives of Lagos State Neighborhood Safety Corps and was handed over to the police. And the teacher has been taken into custody and is currently undergoing investigation. She became very sober because we also saw video clips of when she was taken into police custody. She became very sober, very, very morose when she was arrested.
Well, rather unfortunate, but she realized her mistakes. Maybe she was, undergoing some kind of trauma, that, just overran her, her conduct.
She could have killed the child Bimbo. That's
Yes.
why I said you need to see the video. Those blows were heavy. And again, maybe she was frustrated by the hard times Nigeria happened to her, but does she know the condition of that child?
Yes.
Maybe the child did not even have breakfast. Maybe the parents could not afford to give the child breakfast, and dealing in those kind of heavy
Maybe the
blows.
child was ill.
And dealing those kind of heavy blows on a 3-year-old. Oh, really? I wonder what she would have done if she had had if a cane had been available. I mean, if she had had a cane on that table.
On that table.
Oh.
Just rather unfortunate. Now, you remember, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday when Governor Seyi Makinde raised an alarm about influx of
bandits
and
into southwest Nigeria.
Southwest, yes, and now the police and Amatekun commanders, as well as the UPC, they have reacted. They said the influx of bandits will be checkmated. Let me quickly go through this. Following the alarm raised by Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State over the influx of bandits from North Central into the state, the Nigeria Police Force, Western Nigeria Network, code named Amatekun, and the Odua People's Congress OPC yesterday vowed to checkmate the activities of the bandits, adding that security agencies have been placed on high alert. Recall that Governor Makinde had on Monday raised the alarm that bandits fleeing military onslaught in the northwest were coming down to Oyo State to take refuge. Well,
not just Oyo State, southwest Nigeria.
Southwest. Now, the states are now giving out their, strategies, on how to tackle these bandits. But I believe now Ondo State has its a strategy. Oyo State too, that is the Amatekun, Ondo. I won't read their strategies out here for you. I know they have access to newspapers, but I believe all these strategies should not be put out, so that those people too will not get their tactics to tackle them. You understand?
And again, we, the people, the ordinary citizens, also have a very big role to play in this fight against the possible infiltration of bandits coming into our midst from northern Nigeria, where they are fleeing the onslaught of the military and other security agencies. I say this because, well, first of all, when you see something, say something. And when you see odd gatherings and suspicious movements in your neighborhood, quickly alert the authorities. And this also goes to the landlords and the various landlords associations. Do not rent out your houses to
just anyone.
And people or groups that you suspect could be part of these elements, no matter how tempting whatever they bring, whatever they offer to pay as rent. This is very important, and this also goes to traditional rulers too. Not all of these elements will be living in the bush. Some of them will actually be coming to rent houses amidst our communities. Some of them will be coming, and that's to you, the landlords. Some of them will be coming to rent your houses. And of course, you would know if somebody looks like a suspicious element. Definitely, you would know, and especially if that person is an alien, and especially those that are not of Nigerian extraction. Of course, there are those who are doing clean business, but then, like I said, I don't believe that anybody would be confused if anyone sounds suspicious. There is a proper profiling, and thank God, many neighborhoods actually do this. If you want to be a part of that,
they just started doing it. They started the profiling process. So that was after the Bodija incident explosion. Yes.
And the explosion happened because partly because the people of that neighborhood saw what did that suspicious activity, something odd in the neighborhood, but this idea of mind your business
was
what else sway in that neighborhood. and well, the rest is history now. At the Bodija explosion, and the fast began to tumble out after the damage had been done. That they saw that that particular house was there, and no one was living there, and the only thing that the neighbors would see is that trailers, trucks, and coming in,
and drop some items.
So we all have a role to play in ensuring that we do not have a recurrence of what has happened or what is still happening in northern Nigeria, down in the southwest. And okay, Bimbo, you are now licensed to use certain words that have been used as slangs, especially here in Yoruba land. Many of these words are initiated by we the Yorubas. Well, you are now licensed to use them as proper English words.
By who?
By the Oxford English Dictionary. Those words that found their way into the dictionary.
Like which?
Now it says 419, Agbiru, Japa, Suya, Adire, 17 other Nigerian words now in Oxford English Dictionary. Like I said, quite a huge number of those words generated here.
Let's check
in Yoruba land.
Check let's see.
Okay.
Let's see.
Now, in addition to its latest updates, Oxford English Dictionary (OED) has published a collection of Nigerian English words, or they call it Nigerian English, with the target of reflecting Nigeria's culture, creativity, and ways of expression. The addition was announced by Nigerian English consultant Dr. Kingsley Ogwai in the LinkedIn post titled "Latest Nigerian English Words in the Oxford English Dictionary," where he listed the 22 words with links to their meanings and origins in the online edition of the dictionary. According to Dr. Ogwai, the wait is over. I'm thrilled to announce that the Oxford English Dictionary OED has officially published its latest updates, featuring an amazing collection of Nigerian English words that beautifully reflect Nigeria's culture, creativity, and the unique ways we express ourselves as Nigerians. Well, I don't know.
So is Japa an English word? Nigerian English word?
We say it's not. Well, that's what they call it, Agbiru.
Well, if that is the case, there are some other words that should be, even included, like Damo.
Well, the list here: 419, Abi, Adire, Agbiru, area boy, cross-carpeting, Eba, Edo, Gili, Jand, Jand as in noun, Jand as in verb, Janded, and Japa as in noun, Japa as in verb, Kanuri, Kobo, Naija, Suya, Yahoo, Yahoo boy, and Yan Dust. There are some that are new to me, Bimbo. But you agree that the majority of these ones were generated from southwest Nigeria.
Yes, that is what I know. I know some of the words, but there are some that are new to me too. Like the one I mentioned then. It was just created, and then there's another one. Ibinu Omolebano.
It's not there. Oh dear. On another threat to life, Ganduji accuses Obi of mischief. We are still on that.
Yes, I have this one there. I've been talking about this driving against traffic and all those almost every time that we are on set. Now, yesterday, Governor Seyi Makinde, he reiterated his commitment to public welfare through good road networks that will foster development and enhance state security. And it was contained in the governor's message to the opening of the stakeholders' engagement on safety on roads and security, organized by the Oyo State Mobilization Agency for Socio-Economic Development, OIMASED. Yes, I think this OIMASED is being headed by Dr. Moronkola Thomas. Yes, and I think it is being saddled with the responsibility of, sensitizing and mobilizing people, sensitizing most especially on the need to always obey traffic rules, traffic regulations, not to drive against traffic, not to jump traffic lights, and it has been on. We have been saying this for a long time. There is this agency that was, established, headed by a judge, I think a retired judge, Rule of Law, Oyo State Rule of Law, I think agency authority. We have OITMA there, agency, talking about traffic. So I believe this, I don't know what will happen with this one now that is happening. This is a kind of, sensitization drive. They're talking about the former MAMSA, you understand, headed by, what's this, Dr. Jerry Ghana, then. You see, driving against traffic is a bad, bad attitude. When you see people driving against traffic, when I see them, I always feel like, are these Nigerians? And you see them in exotic cars. Are
these human beings? That's what you wanted to say, Bimbo.
Yes, and you see them in exotic cars. You see all these Okada guys too, Marua guys too. They will just drive. Meanwhile, pedestrians are lining by the side. They want to cross the road, or they want to board commercial vehicles or bikes. They will be, trying to see when they can cross or how to, get. And one driver will just be coming. He will not even hoot, and he will even be abusing you. And accidents occur. And when anything happens now, and you'll be saying you've traveled to United States of America, travel to Colorado, travel to Texas, New York City, UK, Canada, can you do that there?
Bimbo, you've never heard them reward educated illiterates? Educated illiterates. You've never heard that before?
Yes, I've heard it. Yes, I've heard it. So that we can categorize those people.
That's what they are. And I think we should also, talk about Nigerian English in the Oxford English Dictionary. I think we should add that because we have quite a very huge number of people in that category in our country, the educated illiterates. Before we open the phone lines, quickly, Bimbo, I just want to take a look at this. I grew from Almanjiri School to become NNPCL CEO, says Mele Kiari. Well, good for him, but the question I want to ask is how much has he done, having come this far in life? How much has he done to take the Almanjiri off the streets and to make sure that the Almanjiri system permanently comes to an end? Has he done anything in that direction? Not that I know of, Bimbo. If he had been one of them, he knows how they feel. And I think last weekend we had some people, some newsmen spoke to these Almanjiri peoples, and they spoke of their dreams and aspirations, dreams that probably will never come true. Some said they wanted to be doctors, some said they wanted to be lawyers and all that. So how much has he done? I may be wrong, Bimbo. Maybe he has been doing something, but then I want to ask him how much has he done to make the dreams of some of these little ones come true and put an end to the Almanjiri system for all time.
Let him come out and say what he has done. Not that where he grew up from or what brought him to the limelight.
And expecting us to clap for him for that.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola. Good morning, Mr. I'm calling from Calabar. Good morning. Exactly, Mr. Tola said my mind. I mean, when I read that yesterday, I said, Mr. Melike, what have you done for these people? You are doing at the top of your profession, says God knows when. Now, you are one of the most privileged Nigerians. You cannot count 1 to 10 in Nigeria as a counting you. What have you done to this? Not only in the, don't even, let us not even take the whole not in the perspective now. In your own village and your town, what have you done for the Almanjiris? Did you build school? Did you build laboratories and libraries? Or did you try to improve it? No. That is how we black people, that's how we think. That's how I thought it. Maybe he's doing something, but but we don't know. But we don't know of it. But what have you done for them? That's a question for you, Mr. Miliki. Again, some of you too have climbed to the ladder of Amagiri and became somebody in life. So what have you done for where you are coming from? Now, on the issue of trailer that fell on and the tanker that fell on the container that fell on Marwa in the Womosho, I think 2 or 3 days ago.
No, that was 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Now, I want to please appeal to, I'm not appealing to clients, to the truck drivers at all. It's the government I want to appeal to. Please, whenever these people who are carrying these containers are not belting their containers, are not hooking it up, arrest them and charge them 500,000, 300,000. It has been a norm in Oyo State for them to be carrying this thing without hooking it up. I used to wonder, hey, take it in now. This thing can just sit down fall on anybody. And not until we kill, that's when people start shouting. So they should from this morning now, those in charge of something like that should come out and maybe go to the radio and start doing jingles. That if your containers are not built or they did not hook it, you will be arrested or be charged to court and go to jail, or you pay 500,000 naira fine. So thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much. That is where I believe our traffic. I am not too sure whether our traffic officers are still in town. Maybe it is just in Ibadan. The yellow fever, like we call them. I don't see them again.
Well, we have them in few places, and but we have more with the presence of Oitma on the roads now.
Well, let Oitma to let them, just stand on their feet. Hello?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Akanji Adebayo from you.
Good to have you, Mr. Adebayo.
God bless you, sir.
Amen.
I just want to make a suggestion, sir. Out of the 12 minutes or 13 minutes,
can you turn down the volume of your set, sir?
Okay. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, continue.
Out of 12 or 13 minutes you allotted to us every day by your numerous fans, I want you to do something, sir. Maybe you have to specifically make it 1 minute for each one of us, because many of us, almost every one of us has something or one thing or the other to say. If out of that 13 or 14 minutes, someone will use 8 minutes, it won't go well with others. That's my suggestion. God bless you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's noted, Mr. Adebayo.
Noted. Thank you very much.
080-5509-850. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good Michael calling from Oluyole.
Good to have you, Mr. Joe Michael.
Yes, on the issue of the EFCC, it is good, but let there be proper sanitation in that place, because we will be hearing that they see something from someone for a particular place, but we won't hear anything after that again. So, yes, on the I said it, the transport has not come down, despite the slight reduction in the PMS. So transporters, they should do something about that. We always say on this platform, anything that goes up in Nigeria doesn't normally come down. God bless you. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much,
Michael. 070-5555-1985, 080-5500-985. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
My name is Oluyole. I'm calling from Bodija.
Yes,
to have you.
The woman from Bodija.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, as regards the bandits coming into Southwest, I do not expect that the strategies the security agencies want to use should be put out. So they should please look into this. And like I said yesterday, and like you have said today, when you see something that is not normal in the environment, please speak up. Let's be our brother's keeper. We need peace. There is peace in this part of the country. So we need it more now. So when you see anything like the state government has said earlier, before now, that when you see anything that you do not understand, you can just call 615. That's the security helpline. That as that. As regards the upgrade of Alakia Airport to federal government, to federal airport, for me, my opinion is a good one. Now, it's not as if it's something. It's a short-term project. It's a short-term thing. It's for the future. The truth is, people, I know we have different opinions, but it will increase the state IGR and it will provide jobs for some of our citizens in this state. And the truth is, assuming our governor is not doing what he's there to do, I would have complained. But he's doing, he's working. We can see that he's working. He's paying salaries, he's paying pensioners, and he's constructing roads. So I give it to him for that. Thank you.
Madam, before you leave, well, she has left. Yes, I just want to make one point that we are really focusing on those governors that are trying to construct airports, which might not be viable at the end of the day, but I appreciate your contribution.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning, Mr. John.
John calling from Ilorin.
Good to have you, sir.
Yeah, quickly. If not that you break it up on news this morning. When I saw the video, I thought it was just all this normal video, joking this and that. When the teacher was it wasn't just that, it was pointing the young chap. So I thought it was just all this prank. I never knew it was real. Well, I don't know because ọmọ mi ò mọ̀wé mo ṣe mú lọ school pé kó fi mọ̀wé ẹni tó yẹ kó kọ òwe tó wà nà pé kó mọ̀wé ṣé mọ̀wé mo mú wá school ni. Because I brought the child to school so that you can so that he can learn. So if you now say okay, you will beat her because you didn't know anything. If you know, would I have sent her to school?